Cohh Carnage announces Emberville and the new game update playlist. Huh. Interesting.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cohh Carnage. It's very good to see you.
WCO.
And I have some stuff to talk about today. As you guys know, I've been streaming on Twitch for about 10 years. And
Yes,
in
sir.
that time, we have done all sorts of other things on this
Okay.
channel. One thing that I've always really wanted to dive into is game dev.
Uh-huh.
I've tried it a couple times in the past, and it has come with mixed results. However, I am back in real attempt number 3 to try to bring you guys something that I don't necessarily think is just special, but more is something I really would love to play myself. So
Okay.
very quick background before we continue.
Okay, right off the rip, him wanting and loving to play it himself is 10 times better than half the Blizzard devs. So W fucking co.
I was approached a while ago now, months ago, by somebody who was a fan of the channel and said, you know, I've been watching you for a long time, kind of understand your philosophy and what you like to play, how you like to work, and understanding your limitations. We want you to be involved in our project. The project that they introduced to me had a relatively verbose demo. It had a very good idea about what it wanted to be, but it was still relatively early in development. Still had years left to go.
Yeah.
What they wanted to do is bring me in as a producer to not only help make the game as good as it could, but to help kind of shape some of the core mechanics, kind of help design some of these things, and frankly, make it something incredible. So, that being said, I would...
Wow, imagine getting someone that is extremely well versed in a subject and loves gaming fix systems in your game. Wow.
would like to introduce you to Emberville.
Emberville W. Okay. Looks cute already. Cena's crossed. Aw, shit. I like this already. Okay. So it already has the Stardew Valley 2D sprite looking style. I love those types of games. Looks like already that it's going to be some kind of RPG with a spirit guiding you. I fuck with that. Seems dope. Hopefully it stays true. Ooh, I really like that combat. I like how it's not like... This game's pretty polished already, like, visually. I like that. I like the flare. I love that. That's such a cool, like, visual. Okay. Okay, as long as you can turn screen shake off, because I fucking hate screen shake. It actually tweaks me. But I know that's obviously going to be something you can do. Looks good. I like the music. Okay, different scenery. You can destroy the... Ah! So is it like a survival kind of builder? Interesting. Fishing.
That, my friends...
Oh, get the damn fish!
That, my friends, is the very, very early look at Emberville. So, what Emberville is, and it now is a page...
I'm gonna go wish list out immediately, actually.
on Discord.
Applause, please.
What Emberville is...
It looks cute. I agree.
It is this new cool take on kind of what a Stardew Valley would look like if it leaned far more into the combat, was more of a darker tone.
This is exactly what I wanted. Because I played Stardew. I'm pretty sure you have too, Ate. I love Stardew as a vibe, building the farm and such, but I don't get that, like, I don't feel like I'm building a skill. You know, over time you're just building a farm, which is amazing. It's a great game. One of my top 5s. But if you can add some kind of, like, you're adding like an RPG element to it, where it's like a fantasy with skills and such, different weapons, like I like that. So I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about if you had Stardew, but it was more of like more of an RPG opposed to like just a farm builder. And I don't know if that's the right terminology or whatever, but this is dope at the surface level. And not only my bias towards Cohh, because I fuck with Cohh. This seems cool. This seems like something it's missing
giant
in the market.
Thoroughly fleshed out procedural dungeon in which you then go into, you farm, you progress, you rescue people, you build a town. And frankly, it's just this really interesting, deeper look at everything I've kind of liked about these games.
Yep.
But in a more fleshed out, more kind of deep tone. So I want to point out a few things. First of all, the sound effects you just heard, all placeholder. These are all placeholder sound effects.
What? I mean, maybe the sword, but everything else sounded so good. So that's all placeholder. And so this is unpolished, unfinished, and it's actually like kind of a W already. I think Cohh found something good here.
This is all just kind of to get the game out there.
Yep.
And kind of go from there, which is pretty cool. So also, I saw some people asking about some stuff in chat. So this here, well, you know what? Let's kind of do this. Let's do this. I wasn't gonna do this, but you know what? Now that we're doing this, I want to do this. Let's talk about this game while we watch the trailer, and we'll kind of like be able to a little bit more kind of, you know, I'll let you in on what's going on here. So first of all, a couple things. Let's talk about.
Dude, that cat is actually fucking fried, dude. That cat is actually fried. Yo, that cat is fucking fried, dude.
What this game is.
Oh so my god, it's so fried.
Is basically this game where you wake up having no idea what's going on. You don't know why you are where you are.
Yep.
And you are trying to figure that out in the course of kind of exploring this new world. This is a combat-heavy game. Not only is it a combat-heavy game, but you will have multiple different weapon types. There will be multiple skill trees. There's a full inventory. There is lots.
Thank God, dude. Oh my God. Skill tree gets me hype. That's sick, dude.
Lots of loot. Now, we actually...
Loot. That's what Stardew is missing, bro. It's missing the loot system, the leveling system, the fucking like equipment and shit, dope ass like robes and shit. Oh my god, this is actually hype as fuck. Yes.
We already have the UI and the inventory stuff. All that's done, but we did not put that in the trailer yet because we're still figuring out how that's all gonna be.
He's so cute.
You also notice there's that little thing flying next to you. That's the mementos. That plays into all sorts of interesting stuff as well. Also has some customizability, plays into the story a lot. It's some very cool stuff. So we're doing some very cool things with this game that I'm extremely excited to do. For instance, like what I like to call procedural QOL and things like that.
Okay.
This is all stuff I've talked about on stream that I've talked about always wanting to see implemented in games, but I've never done it yet.
Yep.
So I'm very excited in doing this. Somebody said, "Are you a dev? Are you backing it?" I'm a producer on this game. So let's talk about that real quick. What am I doing in this game? Every week.
So when someone's a producer, they're not developing the code. They're not developing the code. They're more overseeing the operations. And so, for example, in MapleStory, there was a cubing system where it was like, you'd have a percentage of dex, strength, int, or luck, and it was like a weird system because you had to use so many cubes and it was pay to win, and there was flaws with it. he would be someone to look at that system and decipher what you could change in that system. Or there's a system that needs to be done. Say the equipment is just boring. So how can we make enhancements happen on those equipment? And he would implement the cubing system. That's, I think, what he means.
Week, I meet with the team for generally an hour or more. What I do is I learn exactly what's been done that week during what's called a sprint. We help plan out what's going to be in the next sprint, and I go over and give feedback on pretty much everything that's happened so far in that game.
Yeah.
I have already seen, implemented things that we have talked about, prototyped, and then put into the game. It is awesome, and the team behind it is fantastic. So they're a very fast-working, very dedicated team.
Yep.
And it's
nice.
Going very well so far.
Good.
Second of all, what is this game? This game so far is going to be $25. It is going to have an open EA development cycle with community feedback. Think Subnautica, Baldur's Gate 3. There will be 0 microtransactions, and it will have a discount when it does go into EA with enough to really sink your teeth into when we get to that point. You cannot.
What's the catch? Because with games that come out, there are, in my opinion, 3 types of games that come out, maybe 4. Let me say them and I'll decide if it's 3 or 4. There's pay a subscription to play the game, maybe an expansion every now and then. There's free to play, where you just play it, and the microtransactions are what makes them the money. And then there's buy to play, which you buy it for $25 and you just play it for free. 25, whatever. If it's a live service where it's like they're updating it consistently, they're not like putting out The Witcher 3 and never touching it again. If they're going to be doing consistent updates, then where are they getting their money? Besides this $25, where are they getting their money back? Unless they're going to, because Stardew Valley is constantly being updated and it's only been purchased once. So it's like, I don't know. Chat, do you consider paid DLCs to be microtransactions? I don't think so. I think that's a major transaction. I think you buy it as an expansion, and that's fine. If he's saying 0 microtransactions, that means there are no aesthetics, there are no clothing, there are no mounts, there are no nothing you can buy in a shop, whether it's pay to win or not. It can be completely cosmetic, but that means that there's going to be none of that. You don't? Yeah. So I think if they come out with this at $25, which already low price point, which makes sense for an indie developer, if they're going to be looking at this as a 10-year game, I don't know how it's sustainable. It's a large thing that changes the course of the game and things you can do, definitely not a microtransaction. Yeah, I agree. So, for example, if Stardew came out with a mounts or dinosaur DLC, then I think that would be a DLC. It's not a microtransaction. Stardew, I don't think, has microtransactions. So what is Stardew's income? How are they gaining revenue? That's my question. Like, how does Stardew make money? I know they're a huge selling game, but it doesn't matter how many you sell. If you're like, these developers are selling The Witcher 3 for $80 and then patching it for like a year and then never touching it again. But if you have a team of developers on this game, community managers and all this shit, how are you funding the game? You need to be able to get money somehow. So I am extremely surprised with no microtransactions, unless there's going to be DLCs and expansions coming out, which would be a fucking W. Will be a huge W. Because with these games, you don't see a lot of expansion work because they're terrified. Indie developers are terrified to put out an expansion because they don't want their fan base to turn on them. They want to give out as much free shit as they can because they were nice enough to support them when their game wasn't big. I think If they came out with this game at 25 in like a year or two, it was finished, it's all good, and they wanted to come out with some dope ass mount system, I think they put it out $20, $19.99, dope ass fucking like overhauling the weapons, overhauling the classes, overhauling the mounts or new mounts, overhauling the buildings, new flooring, shit like that, and you just bring it out, and then you do one of those every year. I think that's a W. If you don't want to do microtransactions, I just don't see how non-microtransaction buy to play is sustainable without expansions. But I would love to see it happen. I'm interested. I'm super actually invested in this already.
Not buy this game now, for the record. And we are not going to let you buy this game until into EA, until we have something that's like really something fun and interesting that you can sink your teeth into. You can wishlist this game. So if you are interested in following along with the development, again, we do have a Steam page up, and we would love for you to wishlist the game and you know, let us know you're interested. So you can do that by just going down and add it to your wish list, like I just did. But yeah, that's going to be big. So there will be controller support. Absolutely. Yes. No, this game has no blockchain, Web3, or NFT integration of any kind. And we do not.
How long was I muted? Oh, it probably wasn't long. I think I pressed space to unpause the video, so we're good. I don't know why someone would have to ask that to Cohh. Like, he's not gonna be proud of a Web3 fucking scheme, I can tell you that.
Not plan on doing any of that either. Will it be coming to consoles? That is further down the road. So let's talk about this real quick. We're shooting for early access.
Yep.
Early next year.
Okay, cool.
Now, there are going to be some core components of the game missing at that point.
Yep.
And we were, of course, going to be very clear about what you will get.
Hold it muted
but
for a second.
The thing about early access, the thing about this game in general, is that we are taking an approach to this game.
Yep.
Because not only do we want to with the game itself, but also I'm in a unique position for this. We are taking the approach of this game where we are helping the community decide what this game becomes.
Yep. W.
The best way that I can say that is when I was talking to Bryn, who's the guy that kind of brought me on board. He had this very specific, interesting example where Unknown Worlds, the makers of Subnautica, early in the development process, when they were having feedback on their demos, somebody asked the Subnautica devs, "Why don't I have food and water in this survival game?" And the Subnautica devs kind of went,
"Nani?
Is this a survival game? Is that how this should work?" And then that started off this basically change into what Subnautica is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, AAA titles can come out and it builds the experience around how many people are going to be interested in it. But for an indie developer, not only is it difficult to build a community, but to put out a game without community feedback, I mean, fuck that. You're literally just not going to get anything out of it. So I think that's just a W way to go about this. I mean, it's kind of common, but having Cohh at the forefront, being someone that is a genuine lover of video games and also a big content creator, this game's gonna do well. Got to give the people what they want. Yeah, exactly. And to a point, may I add, to a point, because there's a point too where you got to give the people what they want, but at the same time, like, you also need to innovate as well and move forward in a way that will work, you know, future proofing. And sometimes you gotta give the people what you know they want before they even know they want it. Like Stardew, people didn't really know they wanted it, but Harvest Moon existed and everybody loved it. So fuck it, let's make it 2D, make it accessible to everybody, and perfect timing in 2019, 2018, whenever it came out. So, but I agree. Like, if you're building something and building a community, the feedback is literally number one.
Today. And what Subnautica is today is absolutely freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing with Emberville. We have the core idea of what this game is. And then what we're going to do is, based on the path of EA, as we do major updates, as we continue to develop it, we are going to be taking community feedback and basically turning it into the best version of itself that it can be.
Yeah.
So what we have so far, this is an action-heavy game. There is a full creative build element to the game. So as you'll see here, combat is fast. Combat is going to be customizable. There will be different weapon.
I'm getting a call. Where were we? Let's see.
Types. There will be different ways to play it. But at the heart, like, there's going to be, like, this is a combat-focused game. These are some of the different environments which we plan to vary and have lots of different things to see.
I like this. I like the different environments.